Welcome. Tonight on Manhood, Race, and Culture, we are going to deal with a case that has pretty much everything one could imagine if you are a world traveler. We have the idea of the privilege of Americanism, we have race, we have class, and we have a cultural clash. Yes, I'm alluding to the case of Tierra Young Allen, a young lady who is vacationing in the United Arab Emirates, most notably Dubai, its largest city, who has found herself in trouble due to being what many critics of black womanhood would say, just being a black woman, being belligerent, loud, confrontational. But she's quickly learning that that type of behavior is not accepted around the globe. So kick off your shoes, relax, and hopefully you'll enjoy this. Peace. I'd like to introduce myself to you. I am Dr. James Thomas Jones III, Catherine Viola Jones's baby boy, the highest title that I will ever carry with me. I am an African American Studies professor who's been teaching for the past 30 years now. Wow, how time flies by. I am a graduate of The Ohio State University, and I've spent my time studying, loving black folk. I have a BA in African American Studies, an MA in African American Studies, an MA in History, and also a PhD in History. I am also an expert in black popular culture, black power, civil rights movement, black intellectual history, labor and class movements, especially as they impact and affect black America. It is truly my privilege to serve you, to be able to discuss relevant issues with you, and I look forward to interacting with you. Please make sure that you like, share, and push the notification button for Manhood, Race, and Culture, a space that is specifically designed for us to discuss our issues in a intelligent, cerebral manner. So welcome. I hope you enjoy the programming that we're going to put up on here as time goes by. Peace. Welcome to Manhood, Race, and Culture, a site that deals with manhood, race, and culture. On this site, what you will find is quite simply interesting, intelligent, informed discussions about African American manhood, about race and racial politics, and about the culture that undergirds so much that African Americans deal with here in America. Please feel free to join in, and remember to like, subscribe, and push the notification button so that you will be aware of any new programming that we place up on the site. Now, we all know that African Americans have had a very storied legacy of trials and tribulations, of successes and failures within this nation. Having said that, this site is aimed at examining, illuminating, and seeking to understand not only the historic issues that lead us to where we are right now, but also the myriad of ongoing issues dealing with African American men, African American women, ideas of manhood, femininity, masculinity, and above and beyond everything else, we're seeking to have a conversation that will edify, illuminate, and ultimately at the end serve to uplift Black America out of its historic position of being a have-not. So welcome and enjoy. On the surface, it appears that the following question of who doesn't like a vacation is one of the silliest ones that one could ask. We all love vacations, and we all should enjoy ourselves. I'll tell you, in my years on this earth, the two places that I have vacationed at that I enjoyed the most, one is Amsterdam in the Netherlands, the other being Ghana, particularly the Cape Coast of Ghana. I just feel at home when I'm in the Cape Coast of Ghana. But Amsterdam presents some very interesting issues. One of them being, and this is the history of Amsterdam, in previous years, they were known for cannabis, for weed. And many people would travel there specifically for that. And lately, we've seen them sort of curtail that. However, one of the things that you have to do regardless of where you're going is, number one, you have to be open to the experience and understand that it is truly a different world to be experienced. Everyone does not live like we live in the United States of America. I'll say that again. Everyone does not live like we live in the United States of America. And that fact, that privilege of being in this nation is really shown to you when you're abroad. So, with the ability to go abroad, there are for you, the traveler, some responsibilities. Yes, responsibilities of being abroad. That is, if you plan on having a great time and being safe. Number one should become at least conversant in local customs. What are the do's and what are the don'ts in regards to this? Keep in mind that you are the visitor. Unfortunately, far too many Americans are what we would term ethnocentric, believing that not only are we the center of Earth, we're the center of every galaxy in America. We are Americans, and we show it when we go abroad. And that's not necessarily a good thing. One of the best jokes that you'll find when you travel abroad is the following one. What do you call a person who speaks only one language? An American. And if being self-centered and ethnocentric is a problem for Americans, Lord knows it's going to be a problem for black women. A certain segment of black women, not all black women, but a particular peculiar group of black women who believe that they can do whatever they want to do, however they want to do it, and they don't care who it affects. That is undoubtedly one of the most dangerous positions for one to take while going abroad. As mentioned earlier, it's the traveler who has the responsibility of conforming and accommodating themselves to the land that they are traveling to. It is very important. I can't even imagine why you would travel to a land that conflicts with your natural cultural expressions, which has always made it very peculiar why undisciplined people, undisciplined Americans, make the decision to travel to a place like Dubai, a place that is apparently visually stunning, yet it has a cultural floor and ceiling where it's obvious that they're not going to put up with a lot of the natural inclinations of not only Westerners, but especially black folk and black women in particular. So we have this individual, Tierra Young Allen, who's also known as the sassy trucker, who has all of these, as they refer to it, as thirst trap videos and photos on Instagram, TikTok, or wherever people put those types of things. And she has somehow found herself in a very religiously strict and adherent nation. That is the recipe for disaster, because it appears as if her natural inclinations are to wild out, to have a quote-unquote hot girl summer, which in many ways is a euphemism for an inability to exhibit any form of impulse control. Now, if that is you, you should probably not be going to a quote-unquote Muslim nation. What, have you been living under a rock and not seeing any of the news coverage of what many people would refer to as the curtailing of expressions of not only men but also women? Something bad is going to happen if you go there and you decide to wild out, have a quote-unquote hot girl summer in the United Arab Emirates. Miss Allen apparently had a conflict with a gentleman there, and she did what I believe is the natural inclination of many black women, not all, but many, to just go ahead and express herself like a wild banshee. The reaction of the locals there is one that is startling, and it's one that undoubtedly changed her life. Changed her life all the way back in May. We're coming up on August, and she's still, in many ways, trapped in that land, unable to exit for the following reasons that are, I'll just put it quite simply, emblematic of poor, bad behavior and far too common amongst a certain segment of black women. Here's a news coverage of what has happened to this black lady abroad.
On Fox, the last 2 months are described as terrifying for a Houston woman who we're told is being detained in Dubai.
Fox 26's Domely Keith joining us live near downtown Houston with why she's being held. Domely.
Well, the crime she's charged with may surprise you, and Dubai is increasingly becoming a vacation spot for a number of Houston women. One who's there right now, according to her social media page, is trying to get back to the Bayou City, but according to her mom, her passport has been confiscated because she was charged with screaming in public.
It also could result in prison time. So it's very scary.
The trip turned terrifying for Tierra Young Allen when her mom says she was a passenger in a friend's rental car and they got into an accident there in Dubai. Tina Baxter says when her daughter went to the company to retrieve her ID, credit card, and other items left in the rental, Baxter says it did not go well.
She found out that she could only receive those items if she paid an undisclosed amount of money. She dealt with a very aggressive individual, a young man there who was screaming at her.
Baxter says her 29-year-old daughter ultimately yelled back at the rental car agent, she says, resulting in her being charged for screaming there in Dubai.
And so she is in jail for one reason and one reason alone. She raised her voice. In that country, a female is not even allowed to raise her voice. If she raises her voice, it's punishable by jail time.
It's been very emotional. There are some days I stay up all night crying.
They have a strict law system that is really based on theocracy.
This website warns, quote, laws and customs are very different, so be aware of your actions to ensure they don't offend while in United Arab Emirates. Now, after Baxter says her daughter was charged with screaming in Dubai, her passport has been taken, and the American social media influencer who works as a truck driver can't leave the UAE, according to her mom. And her mom says she's been placed under a travel ban pending the outcome of the investigation.
It's very frightening. The longer she's been there, the more reality has started to kick in.
In our opinion, she did not commit a crime. Don't punish women for doing the same thing a man can do in Dubai. It's not fair and it's not right.
Now, the 29-year-old does now have an attorney there in Dubai, and her mom says she's told that she could face jail time because there is surveillance video of her screaming. Now, we have reached out to the U.S. and the UAE embassies. Will government officials step in and give her assistance? I'm still awaiting responses. Reporting live near downtown Houston, I'm Damalie Keith, Fox 26 News.
Let me thank you for visiting Manhood, Race, and Culture. We really appreciate your support. Hopefully, our programming is something that you find engaging, that you maybe not even approve, but you feel worthwhile in adding to the conversation of African American manhood, race, and culture within America. It would mean a lot to us at Manhood, Race, and Culture if you would take a moment and subscribe to our channel. Hit that like button, share, and also push the notification button. As we're a new channel seeking to grow ourselves and grow our audience and do what we do better. Please send us a note. If there's anything that you would like for us to cover, please let us know, and we'll certainly get on it. So, as we always say, peace.